You're surrounded by energy. It flows through you, around you, and quietly shapes every part of your reality. But here's the thing, nobody ever taught you how to use it. You were born into a world powered by energy, yet no one handed you a manual. Instead, they distracted you, conditioned you, and trained you to never question why some people seem to move through life effortlessly, while others constantly struggle like they're battling invisible forces. Here's the truth. Energy isn't just some woo-woo, mystical concept. It's real. It's the foundational force behind everything. Your thoughts, your emotions, your health, your success, it all comes back to energy. And right now, whether you know it or not, it's shaping your entire existence. Some call it prana. Others call it chi, or ether. In science, they call it the quantum field. But honestly, the name doesn't matter. What matters is this: the people who understand how energy works. They design their reality with precision. The ones who don't, they're shaped by it, pushed and pulled by forces they can't see. This knowledge isn't new. It's been around for thousands of years, passed down in secret, hidden by mystics, protected by alchemists, and whispered through esoteric teachings. Why kept secret? Because true control over energy equals power. The kind of power that lets you shape your life from the inside out. If you've ever felt like something was missing, or like there's something holding you back that you just can't name, it's because there is. But it's not working against you. It's simply waiting. Waiting for you to take command of it. And by the time you finish this video, you'll know exactly how to do that. But before you learn to command energy, you need to understand what's been quietly shaping your life all along. Everything in this universe is made of energy. The air you breathe, the thoughts you think, the emotions you feel, they're all vibrations in one massive interconnected field of energy. And yet, most people live their entire lives completely unaware of it, like fish that don't realize they're swimming in water. We've been taught to only believe in what we can see, touch, or measure. But the most powerful forces in existence, they're invisible. Gravity, magnetism, consciousness. We can't see them, but we know they're real. Energy is just like that. It's the silent architect of your life. It's the current that either pushes you forward or holds you back, depending on whether you've learned to work with it or you're letting it control you. Ancient civilizations knew this. They didn't just treat energy as something external. They recognized it as something living inside of them. The Chinese called it qi. The Hindus called it prana. In Western esoteric traditions, it was known as the vital force. They built entire systems to cultivate it. Qi Gong, Reiki, Hermetic alchemy, Kabbalah, Tantra, all of them were grounded in one truth. Energy is not passive. It's programmable. It responds to your thoughts, your intention, your will. But here's the problem. The modern world stripped that knowledge away, replaced it with mechanical views of reality. Science has mapped the brain but ignored the mind, measured electric impulses but ignored the source behind them. And that's no accident. Because people who understand energy, they can't be controlled. They don't rely on systems or validation. They become self-sustaining, powerful, free. But when you don't control your energy, it doesn't just vanish. It gets used, it leaks, it flows where it's directed, often by forces you're not even aware of. Look around, we're surrounded by energetic noise, media, environments, people, all broadcasting frequencies that affect you. That's why you feel drained after scrolling for hours, or why you walk into certain rooms and instantly feel uneasy. That's your energy being pulled, scattered, absorbed. Without awareness, you're like a radio picking up random stations, tuning in to fear, anxiety, limitation, because that's what the system constantly broadcasts. You were never taught to shield your energy, never taught to own it. Instead, you were taught to give it away. But here's what they never tell you. Energy doesn't belong to those who take it. It belongs to those who claim it. And when you start cultivating your energy, everything changes. Fatigue becomes vitality. Chaos becomes clarity. Passivity becomes power. Every great leader, every magnetic presence you've ever seen, they've all mastered their energy, whether they knew it or not. They don't chase, they attract, they don't react, they command. It's not luck, it's not talent, it's energy control. And most people? They'll never unlock it. Not because they can't, but because they've been trained to stay unaware. But you're not here by accident. Let's be real. Some truths were never meant for mass consumption. That's why you've never been taught this in school. Why you won't hear it on the news or see it in your social feed. The knowledge of how to control energy has always been passed down quietly, between mystics, in temples, in hidden books, through symbols, whispers, and coded language. Not because it's dangerous, but because it's powerful. Because when you master energy, you stop needing permission. You stop playing by rules that were never designed for your benefit. You stop being shaped by the world and start shaping it yourself. And now, we're going to show you how. But we have to start with this. Everything is energy. Every moment of inspiration, every slump in your mood, every spark of creativity, every wave of anxiety, every flash of clarity, it all comes from energy. When your energy flows freely, you feel unstoppable, clear, focused, charged. But when it's blocked or leaking, you feel the opposite, foggy, anxious, tired, overwhelmed. And the worst part, nobody teaches you to recognize these energy shifts. You're taught to ignore them, to push through, to distract yourself, to believe it's all in your head. But it's not in your head, it's in your field. Ancient systems knew this. Long before modern science caught up, they were mapping the human energy system in detail. The Chinese developed the meridian system, channels where qi moves through your body like rivers. In India, yogis spoke of the nadis, pathways where prana flows. In Egypt and Hermetic traditions, they recognized energy centers that would later be known as chakras, gateways between the physical and the spiritual. These weren't just poetic metaphors. They were instructions, blueprints, detailed, refined systems for working with energy that modern society has labeled primitive or superstitious just because they didn't come from a lab. But the irony, modern medicine is now discovering what the ancients already knew. Your body is an energy system, a living, flowing, intelligent field. And every part of it, from your breath to your thoughts to your emotions, is connected to the flow of energy inside you. When that flow is clear, you're healthy, mentally sharp, emotionally grounded. But when it's blocked, you get stuck. Emotionally, physically, spiritually, you feel drained for no reason. You lose your drive. You struggle to focus. You sabotage your own progress, not because something is wrong with you, but because your energy isn't flowing properly. It's like trying to run a powerful machine with a tangled power cord. The energy's there, but it's not reaching the places it needs to go. And that's where practices like qigong, breathwork, energy healing, and body awareness come in. They're not just spiritual techniques, they're practical tools to unblock, direct, and own your energy. And this is key. Your energy doesn't just affect you. It affects everything you do. Your relationships, your career, your health, your creativity, your confidence, all of it. Because your energy is your signal. It's what you broadcast out into the world, whether you mean to or not. And just like a radio tower, if you're not controlling your signal, you're going to broadcast noise. Most people are leaking energy constantly through overthinking, social media, toxic environments, fear-based media, shallow conversations, and unresolved emotions. That's why they feel like something's always missing, why they wake up tired, why they're constantly searching for something more. But it's not out there, it never was. The energy you need is already inside you. You just have to claim it. Here's the real reason you're drained. Your energy is being scattered. You're tuned into other people's frequencies, letting your focus and emotional state be shaped by everything around you. You were trained to do this, trained to react, to compare, to consume, to obey. But you weren't trained to command. That changes now. Because once you learn to manage your energy field, once you recognize the signals and take responsibility for where your energy goes, you stop being a victim of your circumstances. You start becoming a creator. Every great leader, every powerful speaker, every person you've ever met who seemed to have something you couldn't quite describe, what you were feeling was their energy. Controlled, directed, held. They don't leak it through nervousness. They don't waste it on insecurity. They don't scatter it on distractions. They own it. And so can you. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being aware. You don't have to get it all right overnight, but the moment you start noticing where your energy is going, and the moment you decide to stop giving it away mindlessly, that's the moment everything starts to shift. Because here's what most people never realize. Energy doesn't lie. You can fake words. You can fake confidence. But energy is always real, always raw, and always communicating on your behalf. So the question is, are you going to keep leaking your energy into things that don't serve you? Or are you going to start owning it, directing it, mastering it? Because once you do, you stop chasing life and you start attracting it. Most people will never understand this, not because they can't, but because they've been trained not to. Conditioned from the beginning to believe that power comes from outside of them. That you need a title, a degree, someone's approval, a certain job, a certain look, a certain label to be worthy. But the truth, your power doesn't come from anything external. It comes from within, from your ability to focus and direct your energy, on command. And that's not some fluffy motivational line. It's physics. Energy doesn't just exist inside of you, it radiates through you. Into every thought, every emotion, every action. Whether you know it or not, you're sending out a signal, a frequency, a pattern. And guess what? The universe responds to that signal. This is why two people can walk into a room, and one shifts the atmosphere just by being there, while the other goes unnoticed. It's not charisma, it's not luck, it's not some mystery, it's energy. One person is scattered, reactive, unsure. The other is grounded, focused, and broadcasting a clear, unwavering frequency. And reality listens. But here's where it gets even deeper. Energy doesn't just flow randomly. It moves according to universal laws, just like gravity, magnetism, or inertia. Ignore the laws, and you're bound by them. Understand them, and you move within them. The first law is this: energy flows where attention goes. Whatever you give your attention to, you feed. Period. If your mind is filled with fear, stress, and constant mental noise, your energy is being drained, not because something bad is happening, but because you're feeding that frequency. Your thoughts are like the steering wheel of your energetic field. Where they point, your energy follows. Which leads us to the second law. Energy must be directed with intent. Desire without direction is just noise. Wishing for success, hoping things will change, longing for more. These are passive states. They keep your energy unfocused, diluted. And energy, when left unclaimed, is always claimed by something else. The ones who shape reality, who build, who lead, who attract, they don't wish. They will. They know that energy only moves when it is commanded, shaped by clear vision and deliberate intent. And that's why throughout history, those who mastered energy were either revered or feared. Often both, because when you can control your own energy, you become very difficult to manipulate. You stop relying on systems, structures, or external validation. You become your own source of power. But this is where most people fall short. Because energy responds to mental mastery. Without control over your own mind, your energy will always remain chaotic, scattered, weak. It doesn't matter how much knowledge you have, how spiritual you feel, how many books you read or courses you take. If your mind is distracted, unfocused, reactive. Your energy will reflect that. This is why mental discipline is so critical. Because it's the container for your power. If your thoughts are running wild, if you're caught in overthinking, doubt, comparison, or fear, your energy leaks. Constantly, quietly. Until you wonder why you're so tired, so stuck, so lost. But it's not you, it's your focus. And this is the most dangerous part of modern life. It's designed to hijack your mind. Every notification, every scroll, every shiny piece of content, every low-frequency conversation, it's all crafted to steal your attention, to fragment your focus, because the moment you reclaim your focus, you reclaim your energy. And when you reclaim your energy, you become powerful. Here's something they won't teach you in school. Presence is power, not just in a spiritual sense, in a literal, energetic sense. When you're fully present, fully focused, your energy condenses. It becomes magnetic, dense, impossible to ignore. That's why people who are truly centered feel so powerful without saying a word. They're not broadcasting noise, they're tuned in, clear, focused, aligned. And here's what most people get wrong. They think power is about doing more, about effort, hustle, struggle, grinding harder. But real power, it's about clarity, it's about direction, it's about being so clear in your energy that everything else either aligns with you or falls away. This is why ancient traditions placed so much importance on focus. Yogis used meditation not just to relax, but to train mental command. Hermeticists used visualization to impress energy onto reality. Taoist masters practiced breathwork to unify mind and body. These weren't rituals for show. They were systems of control, tools to discipline the mind and focus the energy. But in the modern world, they've been watered down, turned into wellness tips and surface-level practices that never touch the real depth of their power. Because real energy work isn't passive. It's not just about feeling good. It's about mastery. The ability to hold a vision so clearly that reality has no choice but to reflect it. The ability to feel emotion without being consumed by it. The ability to stay steady in chaos. And most importantly, the ability to focus your energy like a laser, cutting through distraction, distortion, and fear. That's what makes the difference. That's what separates those who drift from those who command. Now that you understand how powerful the mind is in directing energy, here's the next step: turning awareness into action. Because knowing isn't enough, you can watch every video, read every book, meditate every morning. But if you don't apply what you've learned, if you don't practice controlling your energy daily, then it all stays theoretical, abstract, useless. Energy doesn't respond to theory. It responds to movement. It responds to direction. Your body isn't just a biological machine. It's a conduit, a living, breathing system designed to carry and channel energy. And every single part of you, your breath, your posture, your movement, your stillness, it's all part of how your energy flows. But here's what they never taught you. Every sensation you feel, every emotion that arises, every decision you make, they're all tied directly to the state of your energy. When your energy is flowing smoothly, you feel it: lightness in the body, clarity in the mind, peace in your emotions, drive in your actions. You feel charged. You feel alive. But when energy gets stuck, you feel anxious, scattered, tired for no reason, frustrated, foggy, like something's just off. And most people spend their entire lives in that state, not because they're broken, not because they're lazy, but because their energy is blocked and nobody ever taught them how to clear it. Instead of tuning into their energy, they reach for distractions. Coffee to push through the fatigue, social media to escape the restlessness, food to fill the void, dopamine hits, quick fixes, shallow comforts. But all of that? Just band-aids, temporary relief. The underlying energy pattern never shifts. It stays stuck, and so the cycle repeats. But ancient traditions knew the truth. Long before neuroscience and biohacking were trending topics, they had already mapped out the human energy system in astonishing detail. In Chinese medicine, meridians; in Indian yogic science, nadis; in Hermetic teachings, the subtle body and its energy centers. All different names for the same thing: flow. And when you understand this, you realize something powerful. You don't need to fix yourself, you need to flow again. Because energy is meant to move. When it's stuck, it creates dis-ease. But when it moves, it creates healing, strength, alignment. This is why practices like Qigong, Tai Chi, breathwork, yoga, meditation, and somatic movement exist. They're not about stretching or relaxing or feeling spiritual. They are ancient systems for rewiring your energy field, clearing stagnation, rebuilding strength, training focus, reclaiming power. And you've already felt this before, even if you didn't know what it was. That moment after a deep breath when your body suddenly feels calm. That electric tingle in your hands during intense focus or strong emotion. That warm, vibrating hum when you're completely present. That's energy. That's your power, flowing. But most people only feel it by accident. Rare moments, lucky experiences, fleeting states. The difference between those who command their lives and those who drift, they don't wait for these moments. They generate them. On purpose, on command. And that's where practice comes in. Just like building muscle, energy control is a skill. It takes repetition, awareness, deliberate effort. The first step is awareness, noticing your energy, feeling it shift, recognizing when it's strong and when it's leaking. Start small. When you walk into a room, pause. Tune in. Does the space feel light or heavy? Expansive or draining? When you're around people, check in. Do you feel energized or exhausted? These aren't vibes. These are signals, your energy field telling you what's in alignment and what's not. And once you notice, you can begin to respond. This is where breath becomes your anchor. Breath is the bridge between the conscious and unconscious, between the physical and the energetic. Your breath regulates your nervous system. It focuses your mind. It charges your field. And the moment you learn to breathe with intention, you start controlling your energy at the source. Slow, deep, rhythmic breaths calm your system and build energy. Sharp, powerful breaths activate and release. Stillness holds it. Movement directs it. You don't need hours. You don't need incense or chants or complicated rituals. You just need presence. Inhale. Feel the energy rise. Exhale. Feel it expand. And with practice, this becomes second nature. You start to live in a state of energetic awareness, where every movement is intentional. Every thought is focused. Every action is aligned. You stop reacting and start responding. This is how energy mastery begins. And as you strengthen your energy, clear it, build it, direct it, you start to feel different, think different, show up differently. People notice. You walk into a room and you're no longer invisible. Your energy does the talking. You don't have to force, push, or convince. You become magnetic because your field is stable, charged, undeniable. And that's not magic. That's mastery. The only question is, are you willing to train it? Because the moment you do, everything changes. Now that you're becoming aware of your energy, what strengthens it, what drains it, how it flows, it's time to take it to the next level. Because awareness is the foundation, but strength is the structure. You don't just want energy. You want powerful, stable, dense energy that supports you through anything. Energy that doesn't vanish when life gets chaotic. Energy that stays with you, steady, reliable, yours. And here's the truth. Most people are energetically weak, not by nature, but by habit. They're leaking energy constantly. They wake up tired, not because they didn't sleep enough, but because their energy was being drained all day yesterday through meaningless distractions, emotional outbursts, endless scrolling, toxic conversations, shallow dopamine cycles. They spend all day reacting to life instead of creating it. And that reactive state, it bleeds energy. Then they wonder why they feel numb, disconnected, why no matter how much coffee they drink, they still can't focus, why no amount of rest ever feels restful. It's not their body that's tired, it's their field. Because energy is like water. If you don't contain it, it spills. That's why the first rule of strengthening your energy is conservation. You have to stop giving your power away. That doesn't mean isolating yourself or living in fear. It means getting intentional. It means noticing who and what you give your energy to, and asking, is this strengthening me or draining me? Not every conversation deserves your time. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Not every notification deserves your response. Most of what pulls at your energy each day is completely unnecessary. And the ones who master their field, they cut that noise. They're deliberate, selective, disciplined, not because they're cold or closed off, but because they know their energy is precious. It's their life force, and they treat it like it matters. This is why discipline isn't about being rigid. It's about structure. It's the container that holds your energy in place. Without it, your energy scatters. And scattered energy is weak energy. This is what ancient masters understood. This is why they trained breath, movement, thought, posture. Not to perform, not to look spiritual, but to hold energy. Every uncontrolled reaction is a leak. Every unconscious habit is a crack in your energetic foundation. So the first move is to seal the leaks. Be ruthless with what drains you. Be generous with what strengthens you. Create rituals that recharge you. Cut habits that waste you. But conservation alone isn't enough. You must also build. And this is where most people miss the mark. They try to strengthen energy by doing more. But true energetic strength doesn't come from doing. It comes from deepening your presence. Stillness builds power. Solitude restores power. Focused breath charges power. Your nervous system is your power grid. And when you regulate it, calm it, align it, your energy starts building on its own. This is why breath work is one of the most powerful tools you'll ever learn. Not because it's trendy, but because it works. Your breath is the master switch. Want to ground your energy? Breathe slow, deep into your belly. Want to activate your energy? Use sharp rhythmic breathing to stimulate your system. Want to charge your energy? Use breath holds and awareness to concentrate the life force inside you. It's free, it's ancient, and it's more effective than any supplement or stimulant you'll ever take. The second tool is stillness, not zoning out, not passivity, but conscious stillness, being completely aware, fully present, yet completely at ease. This is where energy accumulates. Stillness is where you stop leaking, stop chasing, stop reacting, and just become the source. You'll start to feel it, that quiet pressure in your core, that tingling hum in your hands, that low, steady buzz in your body when you're fully centered. That's not imagination. That's your field, building. And when it builds long enough, it radiates. This is what people call presence, that unexplainable pull certain individuals have. The way they can walk into a room and change the entire atmosphere without saying a word. It's not charisma, it's not confidence, it's stored energy. It's the kind of power that doesn't need to prove itself, because it is itself. And here's the secret. It's not forceful. Real energy doesn't strain, it doesn't clench, it doesn't shout, it flows, effortlessly, like gravity. This is why those who truly master energy are calm, grounded, unshakable. They don't rush, they don't panic, they don't react, because their power isn't based on external circumstances, it's built within. And the more they build it, the less they need to explain it, because energy speaks for itself. So if you want to strengthen your field, remember this. Protect your energy like it matters, because it does. Cut out the leaks. Distraction is not harmless. Build stillness into your daily life. Silence is power. Train your breath. It's the lever for your nervous system. Be consistent. Energy builds through repetition, not intensity. And over time, your energy will become something different, something solid, tangible, unshakable. You won't just feel powerful, you'll be powerful. Now that you've begun to strengthen your energy, the question becomes, what do you do with it? Because energy is not meant to just sit still inside you. It's meant to move outward, to shape the world around you, to influence, to manifest, to create. Most people never get to this part. They might stumble into moments of clarity, brief sparks of energy in meditation, short-lived motivation, but they never direct it. They never use it intentionally. And so their energy fades. It dissolves. It's wasted. But those who learn how to focus their energy, who build it and then channel it, they bend reality. Because here's the real secret. Energy shapes matter. Thought becomes reality. Focus becomes form. Belief becomes structure. It's not just poetry, it's physics. And whether you know it or not, you're already doing it. Right now, your thoughts are generating energy. That energy is radiating through your nervous system, your actions, your words, your presence. And that radiation, the frequency you emit, is shaping the experiences and outcomes you attract. This is why two people with the same resources, same goals, same opportunity can have radically different results. One creates, the other struggles. It's not luck, it's not fate, it's energy. Because energy is the currency of creation. And you're spending it all the time. Every time you think, every time you speak, every time you focus on something. The only question is, are you spending it intentionally or accidentally? Most people live in a state of energetic debt. They pour their energy into stress, fear, self-doubt, mindless content, toxic cycles, and then they wonder why nothing's changing. They want success, but their energy is focused on failure. They want love, but their energy is soaked in fear of rejection. They want freedom, but their energy is tied to fear, control, and doubt. And because energy follows attention, their reality reflects exactly that. Not what they desire, what they feed. Here's the truth. The universe doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you broadcast. And what you broadcast is a result of your inner state, your dominant thoughts, feelings, and energetic patterns. So if your mind is split, if your energy is scattered, you send mixed signals, confused instructions, and your life stays stuck. But if you hold a clear, focused intention and you charge it with belief and emotion, that's when things move. This is the core of manifestation, not a cute trend, not wishful thinking, not magic, it's alignment. When your thought, emotion, energy, and action are aligned, you become unstoppable. And yes, this has been taught for thousands of years. Every spiritual tradition, every mystery school, every system of esoteric knowledge has said the same thing. What you hold in mind, you hold in your field, and what you hold in your field becomes your reality. Not immediately, not always how you expect, but inevitably. Because reality doesn't resist energy, it responds to it. This is why those who create effortlessly often speak of knowing. Not hoping, not wishing, knowing. They don't chase, they don't beg, they don't doubt. They hold the vision in their mind with clarity. They feel it in their body as truth, and then they act from that place. Not from fear, but from certainty. Because once your energy is aligned, reality has to follow. So how do you do that? You start by understanding that energy is directional. It needs a target, a focus. That's your vision. Then you charge it with thought, emotion, belief. You give it weight, life, movement. And then you act, not randomly, but intuitively. Let your energy guide your steps, because now it's leading you. This is the path of true creation. But remember this, the present moment is where energy is strongest. The past? Gone. The future? Not yet real. But the present? That's your power source. That's where your thoughts are happening, where your emotions live, where your energy is moving. And if you can master the present, if you can stay grounded, focused, intentional, then you master your energy, which means you master your reality. Most people live in the past or fear the future. Their energy is never here, and that's why they feel so powerless. But you're starting to feel it now. That sense of presence, that sense of choice. You're no longer just reacting, you're directing. And that's the shift. So here's your next step. Be ruthless about where your attention goes. Train your focus like a muscle. No distractions. When you think of what you want, feel it as real. Don't hope. No. Take aligned action, not frantic hustle, but steady, intuitive movement. Stay present. Stay grounded. Stay deliberate. Because once your energy is aligned, your life becomes a mirror of that alignment. And when you live this way, you don't manifest, you create. So now you're building energy. You're aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions. You're learning to create, not just survive. But here's the challenge almost no one talks about. While you're cultivating energy, there are forces trying to take it. This isn't dramatic, it's just the truth. Because energy, once built, becomes valuable. And anything valuable will attract attention, some conscious, some unconscious. If you're not in control of your energy, something else will be. And most of the time, it won't announce itself. It will creep in silently through habits, people, places, even your own mind. Let's talk about the most common way this happens: unconscious energy depletion. Every day, your energy is being pulled from you in ways you probably don't even notice. Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. That pointless argument you had last night? Drain. That social media feed you scrolled for 90 minutes? Drain. That friend who always needs something, but never gives anything back? Huge drain. The news stories designed to keep you afraid, angry, reactive? Drain. Most people don't question these things. They just think it's normal to be exhausted all the time, foggy, emotionally flat, anxious without knowing why. But it's not normal. It's energetic leakage. You are being pulled, bit by bit, into a reactive state, a state where your energy doesn't serve you. It serves others. It feeds systems that thrive on your low vibration, your disconnection, your unawareness. And if you never pause to see it, it runs your life. But once you do see it, everything changes. You begin to reclaim what's yours. You start saying no to the people who drain you. You start cutting off habits that weaken you. You stop giving your precious attention to things that don't grow you. And this is where people often feel guilt. Because reclaiming your energy sometimes means walking away from what you've tolerated for too long. People, patterns, stories, environments, not out of anger, but out of clarity. Because now you know what your energy is worth. You felt what it's like to be charged, clear, present. You know what alignment feels like. And anything that pulls you out of that state, it's not bad, but it doesn't belong anymore. Some people won't like that. That's okay. You're not here to sacrifice your power for someone else's comfort, and you're certainly not here to shrink so others can feel tall. Energetic sovereignty is not selfish, it's necessary. Because if you don't value your energy, no one else will. Now, external drains are half the problem. But the biggest leaks, they come from within. Your own mind. Overthinking. Fear. Doubt. Regret. Shame. Worry. These are the heaviest frequencies. They eat energy faster than anything else. And most of the time, we're not even aware it's happening. We think we're solving problems by thinking. But what we're actually doing is replaying them over and over, feeding them more energy than they ever deserved. This is why energetic mastery requires mental discipline. Not rigid control, but presence. The ability to catch your thoughts before they spiral. The awareness to ask, is this helping or hurting my energy right now? Because your thoughts aren't just noise, they're blueprints. And if you're constantly looping on low-frequency thoughts, your field reflects that. So what do? You train stillness. You learn to pause. You ground your awareness here, now. This is why monks trained in silence before battle. Why sages sought solitude. Why true power often looks like calm, not because they're passive, but because they're undisturbed. Presence is the shield. Focus is the weapon. Stillness is the amplifier. And when you build that inner stability, things start shifting fast. You don't feel the need to prove yourself. You don't chase answers from the outside. You stop feeling overwhelmed by the noise of the world. Why? Because you're no longer plugged into it. You've created an internal system of power, a source that doesn't run out, doesn't need validation, and doesn't get hijacked by fear. And when you live from that source, you become different. Not better, not superior, just free. And that freedom is magnetic. People will feel it before you even say a word. Some will be drawn to it. Others will be triggered by it. But all of them will notice. Because true energy can't be faked. It can't be borrowed. It can't be stolen. It has to be earned through awareness, discipline, practice, and choice. And if you've come this far, it means you're already doing it. You're not just listening, you're remembering who you really are, what you're capable of, and what's always been inside you, waiting for you to take control. So now comes the final step. You've built it, strengthened it, protected it. Now it's time to embody it, to walk in your full energy, to show up as the force you've always been, not just once in a while, every single day. This is it. You've reached the final step in energy mastery. You understand the principles. You've felt the shift. You've seen what's possible when you build, protect, and direct your energy with intent. But here's the part that changes everything. You have to live it. Because the truth is, energy mastery is not a moment. It's a lifestyle. It's not a hack. It's not a shortcut. It's a way of being, one that influences every choice, every interaction, every breath. And once you step into it fully, nothing looks the same again. You start seeing the world not just as random events, but as energy in motion. You recognize patterns, feel frequencies, and sense truth behind words. You become more intuitive, more aligned, more magnetic, not by trying harder, but by holding your power steadily. Because energy isn't something you chase, it's something you become. And the more you live from that place, where your thoughts are focused, your emotions are centered, your actions are aligned, the more the world shifts to match you. Not because you force it, but because reality follows energy. You've probably heard the quote, "With great power comes great responsibility." It's true, but here's what they don't say. With great responsibility comes unstoppable power. When you decide to stop blaming the world, when you take full ownership of your energy, every thought, every feeling, every decision, when you stop outsourcing your power to other people, to systems, to the past, to your fears, you unlock a version of yourself that most people will never meet. You don't just feel different, you are different. Your energy becomes steady, focused, unshakable. And when that happens, you no longer react to life, you create it. Your health improves, not just because of what you eat or how you sleep, but because your energy system is in flow. Your relationships deepen, not because you try harder, but because your frequency rises and pulls the right people into your orbit. Opportunities find you, not because you chase them, but because your field broadcasts alignment, clarity, certainty. This is what energetic mastery gives you. Health, because energy is the foundation of the body. Clarity, because energy is the foundation of thought. Peace, because energy is the foundation of emotion. Power, because energy is the foundation of reality. But make no mistake, this path isn't easy. Most people won't walk it. They'll stay stuck in distraction, in reaction, in fear, not because they have to, but because it's comfortable, it's familiar, and choosing to rise above that, to move into sovereignty, to become the architect of your energy and your life, that takes courage. Because once you truly understand this, there are no more excuses. You can no longer say, "I didn't know." You do know. Now it's about choice. Every day, the world will offer you noise, fear, drama, doubt. It will pull at your attention. It will tempt you to lower your frequency, to leak your energy. to forget who you are. But you'll know better, and that's your edge. You'll feel it when your energy slips, and you'll bring it back. You'll recognize the distractions and choose stillness instead. You'll catch the fear and replace it with focus. That's how mastery works. Not through perfection, but through awareness and repetition. And the more you live this way, the more your life becomes a reflection of that mastery. People will ask what your secret is, why you're so calm, why you seem to attract things without effort, why you're glowing, focused, present. You won't have to say much, because they'll feel it. It's your energy, alive, controlled, radiating. Now, if you're ready to go deeper, if you want to learn the techniques, the systems, the hidden teachings that can't be fully shared on platforms like this, we created something for that. It's called Insights Academy. It's where we share the knowledge that's been hidden in plain sight. Ancient texts, esoteric systems, energy disciplines that have been quietly passed down, preserved, and now made accessible to those who are ready. If you're one of them, if you're serious about mastering your energy, not just in theory but in real, practical ways, then we invite you to join. The link is below. For a limited time, everyone who signs up will receive a free digital copy of the Kybalion, not as a gimmick, but as a key. A text that contains the foundational laws behind everything you've just learned. We won't push it. You'll know if it's for you. Because real power isn't about pressure, it's about resonance. And if this video resonated with you, if you felt something stir, awaken, remember, then we want to hear from you. Drop a comment below with the words, "I understood it." Not for us, for you. A declaration, a signal, a moment of clarity in a world full of noise. Because now you know, and once you know, you can't go back. You either stay where you are, or you rise into who you were always meant to be. The choice is yours.